You're now tuned into Radical Radio with Coach L.
Switch my attitude. I'm so radical. 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 I'm so radical.
Radical Radio is designed to get to the heart of our guest stories. Oftentimes you see people moving and they make it look so easy. Many don't know the story behind the journey, the heartache, the disappointment, the wins, or even the loss. What has it cost you? We are removing the stigma of judging a book by its cover and gaining perspective from our guests in the most radical way, in their own words. Testimonies are meant to be shared to help others move forward. That's the radical way, y'all. Let's go. You can't heal what's hidden, and you can't break chains you don't acknowledge. The word says the truth shall set you free. Be true to yourself and allow the plan that God has had for your life to live. That's radical, living unapologetically bold and purposely authentic. Stay tuned for the radical coaching moment of the day.
What's good? It's your girl Kendra, the founder and owner of Lady of Pearls. You might be saying, now what is Lady of Pearls doing on the Radical Radio Show? Because it is a radical takeover. I am taking over on tonight. I'm taking over Radical Radio. I'm taking over Elnora. Listen, I'm going to interview them on tonight. So I encourage you all to just come on in the building on tonight. Get in tune. But first, check out this t-shirt that I have on. It says, no matter the test, I still say yes. Listen, this t-shirt was created and designed by none other than the radical chick herself, Ladina. So go ahead and grab your t-shirt. These earrings were handmade if you're interested. Her name is Crystal. Let me know. And of course, these head wraps and this gloss came from Lady of Pearls. All right, enough of that. Let's get into it. We're going to interview these lovely ladies on tonight. Each and every week, and for months and months and months, they have graciously pulled on people that they wanted the world to know. And I think that is so dope, right? So they have called on people from the north, the south, the east, and the west for them to be interviewed so that people can know their story, to know their why, for the reason why they do what they do, right? I think it's also important that we allow them to get in the hot seat. All right. So I'm going to bring on the founders and owners of Radical Radio. We're going to bring them on tonight. And I'm excited because I'll be asking the questions this time. All right. So I need you all to go ahead and share this live. Share. And let's get into it. Period. So Coach L and Sister Elnora, y'all come on in the building.
What's good, y'all? What's good? Oh my goodness. Listen, give it up for the one time for Miss Lady of Pearl. She came through and shut it down with the intro. Okay.
You know, little something or whatever.
Yes.
So guys, it is definitely a pleasure to be able to have this opportunity with you all on this evening. So I want to personally say thank you to both of you for allowing me to be on the show on tonight once again. All right. So you all are in the hot seat. All right. It's a whole takeover. All right. So Ladina, so sit back. All right. And Sister Elnora over there, I need you to get it together with your fine self. Listen, y'all clap it up for these queens because they're just too cute on tonight. Maxi with her old bashful self, bless her heart. Listen, y'all just stretch your hands to the TV, to the phone, and y'all encourage that queen on tonight because she the baddest chick and she don't even know it. Okay, so listen, we stretching our hands to you. And we speak a power of boldness that will come over you, a spirit of boldness that will come over you, and that you will embrace who you are and who God is calling you to be, queen.
Amen.
Go ahead and get together, all right? Because listen, it's something on you, but that's another day and time, all right? So listen, I'm going to be interviewing you on tonight, and I want to start. I know you all always hear from Ladina. Coach L, as she said, Coach L, all right? Coach L, all right? That's Coach L. But tonight, let's start with Maxi, if you all don't mind. I just want to let's go ahead and dive in, right? Okay. I know you've been interviewed before and all that good stuff, but I want the people again to know what inspired. Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about you. We know your name is Maxi. What else? Tell us about Maxi.
Right now, Maxi is a self-published author of my first book, All My Broken Crayons Still Color. It's a daily affirmation book and a journal. I'm also the owner of Eleanor Maxwell. It's a small business boutique where I specialize in admin services for small businesces. And pretty much,
and she's working while we're trying to interview. You get away from
there. That's right. I'm also the podcast manager of Radical Radio, Painting Release, hosted by Autumn Latrice, and Hey Girl Hey, hosted by Rita, my sister.
All right.
Working.
So what has inspired your journey thus far?
My journey was really inspired by a whole lot of loss. Like, I recently just lost one of my cousins about 2 weeks ago. So my heart is a little broken. But my journey was inspired by loss. Lost jobs, lost freedom sometime. I lost my dad. I lost my grandmother, a few cousins. Like, it was a whole lot of just a cycle of pain after pain after pain. So I released it all into that book.
That's amazing. And I have mine.
Yes, y'all get y'all.
I have mine. So let me ask you this. What pushed you to I guess finally say, okay, let me go ahead and get this book out? Like, is it something that's been brewing, or did you just wake up one day and was like, you know what, I need to get this on paper?
I had wrote my book probably 2 years ago, and it had sat on my kitchen table for at least 1.5 years.
Wow.
And it came, and it was kind of like the world stopped, basically. So Dina, little Beyonce voice, the whole world stopped, and it was like, if you're gonna do it, you better do it, because you might not have an opportunity to do it. That's real.
Yeah. So I see that Laura Little is saying that she tried to write hers, but I can't stop crying. I just want to encourage you, Miss Little, that's the best time to write during the tears, because you're how can I put it? That's when you're most vulnerable, right? And you're open. One thing that I encourage people, because I am an author as well, and people that ask me, well, what inspired you, and, your process. And one of the realest things that I could ever share with people in the process of writing a book is that you have to remove yourself and allow God, to work through you, because it's a lot of things that we want to cover up. It's a lot of things, that we don't want to talk about because we're either ashamed or embarrassed, but God will take you back in the midst of those situations, that you have endured, and not to harm you, but to show you where he has brought you from, And so, I just encourage you, Miss Little, to write that book, because there's somebody across the world that's waiting on you, to tell that story. And just like Maxi, you don't know how you have encouraged. What blessed me about your book is because it's different. One thing that I do know about people is a lot of people want to be, they want to be deep. They want to be deep, they want to be super deep. And but they miss the message. You get what I'm saying? Some people want a deep experience because it makes them feel important, but they miss the message. And so what I appreciate about your affirmation book is that it's real, it's authentic, I can relate. It's an easy read for me to share with my children. It's an easy read for you to share with my youth ministry. You get what I'm saying? Like it's on a level for everyone. So I believe it's something that everyone can relate to. So I just want to say congratulations to you. And as God continues to, to download things, listen, I tell people, keep a notebook, keep a notepad, your phone notes in your phone, and whatever God gives you, use it because it will help somebody. So I just want to say kudos to you. So I do have another question for you. What can we expect to see with Nora Maxwell over the next 6 months? Right, we didn't shift it, right? So over the next 6 months or going into 2022, what can we expect to see from you?
I'm working with a few people to start some new shows, and then I'm working on my own little short podcast so that people can really understand my book. Because back to what you said, I think people expect it because when you say affirmations, they expect, because you can get an affirmation book and it be really, really detailed and it be really, really like you can't get past the first page because you're crying. Like my book wasn't designed that way. It was actually designed so that you can read it with your children. Or if you have a teenager and you want them to get their thoughts out, that's why there are journal pages in the back that look like pieces of crumbled up paper. So you can write it and throw it away and, let it go. So it wasn't designed to be a book that only grown-ups can read. It was actually designed for everybody. Because when I was a teenager, I didn't have that outlet. I didn't have nobody to help me get that out. And it didn't do anything but turn me into an angry adult. So, and it took me a long time to let that go. So
you just said something so powerful because growing up for me, I had my mom and my dad, had this, big family or whatever, but I still struggled and I wrestled with a lot of things. And so, for me, I was a journaler, I journaled everything. But I wish that I knew and understood what an affirmation was, that when I was going through in the midst of going through things, now I know, to speak life, into myself, but I didn't know about an affirmation back then. So I salute you because I feel like, you have, I feel like this can help so many people. And so I encourage everyone that is watching this on tonight. Listen, if you have children that struggle, if you have a husband, boyfriend, boo, whoever it may be, or yourself, be honest with yourself. We know that we don't spend enough time pouring into ourselves. You know what I mean? And so I think that this is good. Y'all need to go ahead and purchase that copy. They want to know, how can they purchase your book?
It's available on Amazon. If you put in my name, Maxi Norman, so Maxi space ENORMAN, it'll come right up on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime, so if you got Prime, you'll get it in 2 days. So.
I got mine in 2 days, honey.
Or if you go under the title, All My Broken Crayons Still Color, it'll pop up on Amazon. So it's on Amazon right now.
Yes.
Awesome. So I know that you are a little bashful. But have you ever considered doing any type of motivational speaking?
I'm not a motivational speaker.
Wait. Let me pause. Let me ask this question again. Have you ever thought about going global with your book to help encourage others? Let's go there.
Love the play on words. That's amazing.
Again, I am not a motivational speaker. My motivation doesn't come in the standard motivational speaking terms.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out there. I have a few events planned to put me outside, so I'm trying. I'm not really a in the front, in your face kind of person. So
Laura said, "Great save."
I mean, you know, fix it up a little bit.
I'm a behind the scenes person, but yeah, these people around me they're not going for that.
No, ma'am.
We're
We're gonna push you until we can't push no more. Do you understand that? But you know what? Okay, so my last question for now, or not, I just want to say, maybe not so much your question, but I do want to say this. The title of the book, like that alone is so dope, okay? Because it took me to a place where I was like, you know, my thing is that a pearl cannot be easily broken, right? And so when I tell you it blessed me, just the title alone, when it just talks about, you know, the broken crayon that couldn't color. I want to say it right?
It's still
Say it again.
All my broken crayons still color.
Sorry, all my broken crayons still color, right? Like, in meaning, I took that is that life isn't over. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, we fall, just because things happen. Let me go God on you. Like, God's grace is sufficient for thee. That's my takeaway from just the title of your book, that God's grace. Listen, it don't matter what we go through, what we have gone through, you know, that there's still purpose. You get what I'm saying? And that I can pray my way through this. I can encourage myself through this situation. And so I'm blessed by it, Maxi. Like, I just encourage you to just continue on your journey. And I pray that God will just continue to just, you know, blow your mind concerning you and the things that he has for you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I know that you're a very passionate person. You're passionate about your family. And I just believe that even God is going to use you even in that area to, you know, just help so many. So I just think kudos, Queen. Kudos to you.
Absolutely.
And all of that.
Many kudos.
And in saying that, the title, I actually changed the title because, again, I wrote it like almost 5 years ago after I lost my dad. So I end up changing the title because the longer and longer it sat on my kitchen table, it was like, contrary to what people think, my book didn't come out till I was 40 years old.
Wow.
So when I changed the title, it made me realize, like, when you were younger and you were cut, because I used to love the color, when the crayon tip broke, it was like, dang, I can't use that crayon no more.
But you can.
But then it was like, girl, if you don't pull that paper off and keep going. So it made me change the title because the title was something.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, for real.
Thank you, Susan. We love you too.
Queen. Okay, wait. So we've got, look, I got to get used to this. Hold on. I got to get used to this here. Y'all know I can't chew gum and walk, okay? I'm a little green, so hold on. Y'all work with me. So Alicia says, just think how many times the crayon broke and we no longer wanted to use it. Absolutely. Yes. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm not gonna even go there because this ain't even my moment. So we
you better stop here. Come on with it. No, because this is exactly what she does. She always got a word. She always got something to pour into the people.
Because
do it.
It just takes me to a place but it takes me to a place of thanksgiving because Alicia, like you're saying, think how many times the crayon broke and we no longer wanted to use it. Just think about how many times, you know, things happen in our lives and we just wanted to, you know, disappear. How many times, people left us and we felt like that was the end. You get what I'm saying? Or just whatever the situation has been, we just felt like, you know what, this is it. But God said there is so much more. You know what I'm saying? Like which means a lot of us still got a whole box of crayons somewhere that can still be used. Do you understand? And that is such a blessing. Like, some of us need to retch down, as the old folks say. We need to retch down in that box. You get what I'm saying? Now, I understand that he's taking us from glory to glory. I understand all of that. But maybe some of us need to reach back. You get what I'm saying? And finish those things. you know, that's one of them things where man said no, but God said it's still a yes, and that yes may be in that crayon box. Do you understand? So listen, I love it. All right, Coach L.
Yes.
Honey,
Yes.
help me to understand something, honey. Let's talk to Coach L tonight. Now we're gonna get real naked. We're gonna get real naked, right? Okay,
right.
So Coach L, tell us a little bit about Ladina, not Coach L. We want to know about Ladina. Oh, she said she wants the shirt too, honey. We got shirts. We got books.
Honey.
we
got glasses.
Wait, hold the line.
Lip gloss.
Hold the line. So to get your t-shirt, you can go on Radical Radio's website to purchase your. Is this on the website?
No, it's not yet. But if you need it, nice for me, Alicia. I got
Put your size in the comments. All right. Put your size in the comments and put your email, your PayPal, whatever it is. And then if you want your book, head over to Amazon. You're gonna look up.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Shelter.
All my broken crayons still color. And if y'all wait to the end, I also got a little commercial, so y'all be able to get commercial at the end of the show.
You better commercial. You better commercial.
We promos over here on Radical Radio. Y'all better get in tune.
So listen, if you don't mind, Coach L, before we dive back into you, I don't know everyone on here, but no, I'm a mind the business that pays me. So let's move on. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Ladina. We're gonna talk about Coach L later. Who is Ladina?
Ladina is a church girl gone crazy. I'm gonna say it just like that. We being real, we being transparent tonight. I grew up in church. And just my parents' divorce rocked me to the core, to the point where I grew up, with my family, the village around me, grew up in church, had a great foundation. My grandparents were always around. My mother and father, we all lived in the same home. I did everything from model, be in pageants, drill team, talent shows. Like, I was a very, very busy young lady. But when my parents got divorced, it hit me differently because I didn't have a warning. So I come from a family that they're good at wearing masks. So not only were we wearing masks for the people outside of our home, but we were also wearing masks on the inside of our home. One thing I do thank my parents for is they never let me know what was going on with them. Like, I never saw them arguing or fighting or anything like that. So I didn't live in a toxic home. But when they did decide that they were going to separate, and they just told me just like that, like, we're going to separate, we're separating. I had this notion that we was fine. Everything was great. So I had questions. And back at that time growing up, it was taboo. You could not ask what was going on. You couldn't ask questions. So when I couldn't ask the questions that I had in my mind, it led me to become really angry because my life changed. My father moved with my grandmother. It was just me and my mom. And my mom has a very, very great work ethic. So she was always at work. So I was left alone. So with that, I was extremely angry because there was something in me. I've always been a vocal young lady, but there was something in me. I could not voice what I needed to voice to my parents. So I became angry. I began to fight in school. I had the biggest attitude, the smartest mouth, would pop, roll, snap my neck at anybody. And, I just began to have this demeanor. So that was Ladina, the spoiled, rotten, smart little girl that probably had more to give at that time, but just had absolutely no clue. Yeah.
Like so many across the nation. So what inspired your journey? I know, you talk about being angry, but what has inspired, well, let me say this. What encouraged your transition from that angry place?
Well, being that I was, this angry young lady, I also began to seek love, from, a boy. I ended up in an abusive relationship when I was in the 8th grade. So from 8th grade all the way through high school, I was with my children's father, and we were in an abusive relationship. And at one point, once I decided to leave that relationship, some people some people think that like something major has to happen in order for you to leave an abusive relationship. But I had endured so much in this relationship, and I had left and went back so many times that nothing major really happened. Right. It was very simple. I needed him to do something for the household. He couldn't do it. And something in me was like, enough is enough. I'm done. And I left that relationship. And when I left that relationship, I still was so angry. So it was like the anger from my parents' divorce, plus now the anger from being in an abusive relationship. Also, by that time that I left, we already had 3 children. So it was the divorce, the abuse, and now I'm a single mother trying to raise 3 young boys on my own. So I was pissed. Like I had a very big chip on my shoulder. But there was a time where I just had to realize, like, Ladina, you have not always been this angry. And at the moment that I started to think about how and when did I become this angry bird, that's what I used to say to myself, like, you just an angry bird, like you just bad, right? And these are like conversations that I would have with myself, like, dang, you about everything. So when I got to thinking about it, it really made me realize I had to kind of trail back my life. And I pinpointed when I became angry was the time that my parents got divorced. What I started to do was I started to speak on it little by little, like with my father. My dad has always been really open where he, and I was able to really have in-depth conversations and let him know just like how bad the divorce affected me. Not only that, like I was angry at my mom for a long time because I thought it was all her fault, because I saw my dad on the couch crying his eyes out, like bawling because his marriage was over. I never saw my mom cry. So I thought it was her. So for all those years that I was angry, I took a lot of it out on my mom, not really understanding that, my mom had been going through abuse as well. So she was trying to regain her life. And I pinpointed once I got all this information, because I really do believe that we have to ask questions. A lot of times our family, they don't want to talk about it. They want to sweep everything under the rug. But when you go through things in your own life, it could be directly impacted and connected to what your parents endured. And you don't have a clue. So I realized that the same woman that I was becoming, trying to leave an abusive relationship, was the same woman that my mother was when she left. So everything that my mother did when she left the relationship, dug into work, went to work all the time, was the same thing I did once I left the relationship. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So I do understand that your boys are older now and you are married.
Yeah.
So has what you experienced with your parents, do you feel like that has had any effect on your marriage?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't go anywhere. You have to really learn how to heal. And, the healing doesn't come from anybody but from within. Like that's how my relationship with God, I had to get close to God because he was the only one that could help me understand what was really going on. And when I tell you the Holy Spirit guides you so, like, it's just such a delicate way that he can guide you through your healing. I had to pinpoint a lot of things. And in order for me to pinpoint those things, there were conversations that needed to be had. in having those conversations, I could understand why I was the way I was, why I was programmed the way that I was programmed. Not only did I take the baggage of, being being an only child born to my mom and my dad, the baggage of an abusive relationship, the baggage of being a single mother. I brought all of that into my marriage because I thought I was healed. And I know that I'm not alone, because we can easily think that, oh, we over it. I'm done with that. Oh, I don't care. But
I got my toes up too.
I'm telling you, it's like the residue slapped me in my face and was like, no, boo boo kitty, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. We're going to deal with this, and we're going to deal with it the right way. And it's still, even after, because ladies, let me be real. Let me be real naked right here. I felt like because my husband asked me to marry him, and I was ready to be married, and I felt like I knew exactly what I was supposed to do in a marriage. That's what made me feel like I had healed from the brokenness that I had in the previous relationship. Now, when I got in that marriage, God showed me that I didn't know nothing about marriage, and I didn't know what I was doing, because you cannot just get up and walk away from a marriage. It is not that easy. So now, I have to deal with all of that. My boys deal with anger issues because they did see their father and me fighting all the time. So, my boys, a lot of their dealings and things that they go through, and some of their mannerisms come from the fact that they witnessed a lot of trauma.
Yeah. So what would you do differently now that you know better? What is your different, like, when it comes to, we've dealt with, well, we've identified that we know what you went through with your mom and your dad, right? We know how it affected you with your children's father, right? We know how it has affected your boys. And I think that that's what a lot of women fail to realize, and men fail to realize, that what we do and what we allow our children to see, it truly affects them.
It does.
In the worst way. And so a lot of us are walking around here, and I say us, a lot of us are walking around here saying, like, well, what's wrong with him, or what's wrong with her? I don't know why they act like that. I don't know why they do that. Yes, you do.
Yep.
Because of, what was that residue that was on you, the residue that was on the father, the residue that came before, whoever was, before. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what would you do different, or looking back at things now? What would you do different, and what do you strive to do different? You get what I'm saying?
I got you. So what I would do different definitely is to really deal with my healing, really deal with the truth. I didn't want to deal with the truth. A lot of times, like I said, my family, we mask well. We mask really well. And I inserted the realm of masking. And that's exactly what I started doing. I would have the biggest smile on my face, but I would have, a black eye. I would have the biggest smile on my face, but be broken from the inside out. I would have a smile on my face, and I just got done cussing my husband out and arguing with him. And then we go to church and act like, I go to church and act like everything's okay. I took a lot out on my children just because I didn't know how to properly deal with my anger. So, my children would get the backlash. They knew when, I would be arguing with my husband because I would take it out on them, and they would verbalize that. So what I would do is I would literally say to anybody, and myself included, if I could do it over again, I would really deal with myself first, heal myself first before I jump to get into a new relationship, heal from the trauma that I endured, counseling. It would have helped for me to go to counseling myself, and as well put my children in counseling. That's what I would have did different.
Yes. We've talked about this in private, and before, we've talked about how, messed up our kids can be, from the trauma that we have experienced. And as I said earlier, we say, we question what's wrong with them, or why do you act like that? But the truth of the matter is, some of us owe our children an apology.
Yes.
We need to apologize to our children, and we owe them, we owe them that piece of asking them, hey, do you want to go talk to somebody? Even if they say no, but we owe them that. You get what I'm saying? Because they're so broken. And they take that. So, you just think about it, things that we have endured because somebody else endured it. You get what I'm saying? And then now they're going to take that, and that seed is going to fall on their children and every relationship that they, get in, because all they know is dysfunction. You get what I'm saying? Yep. And, so, and I appreciate you being authentic and, and just being honest and real, because, some people need to hear and know, hey, it ain't just me, that has been down that road, that I have experienced it. And, Maxi, this just takes me back to you. I hate to keep, putting you on the spot, but I'm blessed tonight because you're looking at, two women who have dealt with broken, experiences that try to break them. You get what I'm saying? Have dealt with things that have tried to break you. But yet, we got two bosses, honey, that lived through it.
We have three bosses, actually, that lived through it
all.
all. Yes.
Well, but you have lived through it, and I just want to pause for a minute and just encourage someone that may be listening, that may be watching, that no matter what life has try to throw at you, whatever balls and, whatever the situation, you can make it, and allow your story to be your testimony. Like, I'm listening to two testimonies on tonight that, you took that energy, you took what broke you and you made it a strong positive, and I'm definitely proud of you all. So let's talk about Coach L, right?
I just want to add to what you said. And I want to encourage mothers and fathers. It's not just mothers that need to apologize, it's fathers as well. Do not be afraid. It's a very hard conversation. And a lot of times my kids throw a lot of stuff at me. They say a lot of things to me, and I eat it all because I owe them that. I owed them the apology. I gave the apology. I've given the apology numerous times. I will never stop giving the apology because I was the reason that they're broken. And I'm just not ever going to be that mom, like you said, to be like, oh, I don't know why they act like that. They wasn't raised like that. No, my kids weren't raised like that, but the trauma that they endured, they have trauma of their own that they're trying to deal with, and they're dealing with it in their own way. So I have to just allow them to go through their process the same way that I went through my process. So I encourage parents to understand that we ain't always been who we are today. Remember who you were at 15, 16 years old, because that's what you're seeing out of your children. They're a direct reflection of who we were at that age. So, yeah.
And even back to the older generation, as I'm saying, we look at our children and we say, what's wrong with you? I don't know why you act like that, but our parents have said that about us.
Absolutely.
What, mama? I messed up because you. Yes, daddy, I messed up because you. You get what I'm saying? But that takes me to the cycle breaker.
Yeah.
Right? So, breaking, we have a responsibility into everyone that's watching. I see y'all comments. I'm just not good at, I can't multitask, y'all, but y'all talking really good. I'm not ignoring your comments. I just can't chew gum and walk. Y'all talking real good. So we see y'all talking and we are taking it all in. This is definitely good dialogue on tonight. But I just want to say, like, as far as being the cycle breaker, I know your heart, I know your passion, behind that. And I just want to say this to people that are too deep. People will say, well, how can, she be a cycle breaker, or how can she be this and this and this when, when they from outside looking in, you get what I'm saying? Because of the things that they see around you, but not understanding that God is giving you the grace and the strength to help somebody else through what you have, either what you're going through or what you have lived through, right? But we have a responsibility, this generation, us, and those, that have come before us, that are in tune with life, to say it stops here. You know what I mean? It stops here. Okay, it happened to me. Praise God, I lived through it. Now I have a responsibility that I have a responsibility to make sure my children don't have to, live through that. I have a responsibility to make sure, that these things don't happen to them. So let's talk about, as far as you, what the cycle breaker, right? Coach L, the cycle breaker.
That's me.
How is that experience for you? Because I know that life still happens for you, right?
Yes.
I know that, life happens.
She know my business, so she know, y'all. She know.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I like this, because this is what people need to hear. Let's just keep it above. Like, life happens for you, but then you still have a responsibility to get up and tell somebody else, but it's gonna be all right. And I'm gonna help you, through this process, right? So how is that for you? Like, even let's just give me an example on, some of the worst days that you probably have had, but you still had to work.
That's funny that you bring that up, because I was just talking to one of my members at Youth Build, and I was just explaining to her, as a servant leader, as a cycle breaker, there are times where you just want to crawl up in the bed and you just don't want to do anything for anybody. But you have, like, as a leader, as a real, genuine, authentic, real leader, you don't have that luxury. You have to put your feelings and your issues on the back burner to help others, because that's what God called you to do. It has nothing to do with me. It's what he called me to do. He's called me to know how to break cycles. I ain't had no training. I ain't been to no schools. It was nothing but the Holy Spirit guiding me. But what I will say is, number one, in order to be unapologetically bold and purposely authentic, if you are a cycle breaker, because there are many in all families, right? But if you are a cycle breaker, you have to get free of people. You cannot worry about what people are going to say about you.
Wait a minute. Say that one more time. You got to
get free of people. You cannot.
We can do the collection plate right now.
I mean, and I thank God, for my pastor, who has always, just constantly poured that into us and just told us, like, you got to get free from people. And one of my favorite songs is People by Jonathan McReynolds. You have to get free from people, because people are always going to look at that they know about you in the moment that they know, but they really don't know what it's costing you to get up every single day and still push. My husband has been incarcerated for almost 3 years. Like, we have 8 months left. He has been incarcerated. I have been accused of abuse by someone that I have raised for years. I endured my son getting shot down the street from my house. And at that time, me and my son weren't even speaking. I have literally, been haunted by my past. Like, if God called me, I said yes to the call, and you would think that, I did something wrong when I said yes. I have been told, I have been told that I know you ain't gonna get in no pool pit, because, we don't do that. Oh, yes, we do. Again, I had to get free from people. And when I say people, sometimes that means your family. Sometimes that means your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to get free from those that are extremely close to you, because the way that I am, I only want to see people at their best version of themselves. So in order for me to do what God is calling me to do as a cycle breaker, I have to be honest. I can't be sugarcoating and lollygagging and, being cute with you and all that. I can't do that. I have to be honest. And so many of us have so much anointing, because I did as well, but I had no clue. So I was out here acting a fool when God already had a plan for me, and I had no clue what that plan was because I didn't take the time to surrender. So I just feel like when it comes to breaking the cycle, there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing better. There's nothing that's going to stop me from not pouring into my children. There's nothing that's going to stop me from loving on my granddaughter's mother, even when she acting crazy. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop me from loving on you, because I do believe that the more love that we pour out, the better we will be able to break the cycle, because it has to continue. You have to keep trying. You can't, as a cycle breaker, cycle breakers don't quit. We don't stop. What I will say though is we have to learn how to sow the seed and walk away. That is very difficult for a lot of us, because a lot of times, especially as a parent, you sow the seed and then you want to water the plant. You want to pluck the leaves. You want to, go get the fertilizer. You want to really, baby this plant. But at the end of the day, all God called you to do was sow the seed. He didn't call you to do all that other stuff. And so many times we go above and beyond our assignment, and then we wonder why we frustrated, because you doing something that he didn't assign for you.
Absolutely.
So we have to, and I'm still at work. I still sometimes, I'm still trying to do too much. And when I know it's too much, I have to come on, back up, because this ain't for you. And it's just important. We have so many cycles, and I just want you guys to think about it, because I had to think about it like this. There was a time where my mama used to tell me, just listen to me. Just listen to me and you will be all right. Okay. I know that without a shadow of a doubt, my grandmother told her the same thing, and she chose not to listen. Same way I chose not to listen. And when you continue to go back to that lineage, it goes far beyond anything that you could ever imagine to your ancestors. So what I say is, it starts with you, and the choice is yours to become the one in your family that is going to break the cycle.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's one choice.
Y'all better let y'all be on message.
Yeah.
Yes. Say that louder, Maxi.
Hey, say it one more time.
Yeah, seriously, that was good. Say it again.
I said people gotta allow their mess to be their message.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that message will help somebody else.
Yep. Absolutely.
I believe in the Most High. I just don't do church. That ain't really my thing.
Let's go there.
But I try to put positive energy out in the world, let people know, because you can go through stuff every day. I've been in corporate America like 20 years, but I done had some horrible jobs that I had to pray myself up out the bed just to walk in. So,
facts.
You may bend, but you ain't gonna break.
That's right.
So,
that's good. That's good. Maxi, I really want to go somewhere with you, but
you better go. I'm waiting on you. You talking about don't tempt you? Come on. We haven't. Listen, y'all let Kendra know that this is a very good conversation. This is a necessary conversation. No. So I want her to go exactly where she's finna go. I need her to.
So Maxi, this is a no judge zone, okay, and no judging. But I just want to know. You said you really don't do church, right?
I don't.
Do you mind sharing your why?
Because I really don't do fake, and it was too funny for me. It wasn't even. It was the little small intimate churches where people know your name and they know you, but then they treat you one way in church, and then as soon as they see you outside of the church doors, they don't know you. And then then I went to a really, really big church where in the beginning, as long as you tied in and coming to church and, you get baptized and get saved, then you're fine if you want to work for the church. But the minute you just want to come to church and hear the word and they can't use you for something, then they still don't know you.
Mhm.
Like, I might as well watch Joe Osteen on TV, get my word, and go about my business. At least
Not
I
Joe. Not Joe.
Joe. Hey.
You know, so I'll just say this. I want to encourage this. I don't find a lot of lie in what you're saying. I will say that. I'm gonna be transparent and say that. But I will say that there is a place for everybody to worship, right? And I feel like, it's very important that we all have that place. I just want to encourage you to pray and ask God to lead you to that place where you can just be of service. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very, very important. Now, I will say on the flip side of it, one thing that I had to deal with, because I've experienced the fake, I've experienced being hurt in church, I've experienced, being lied to, lied on. I mean, I have experienced some things, but one thing that I had to grow to is to understand that I wasn't going to church for the people, but I was going because I wanted to be drawn closer to God. Now, a lot of people may argue and say, well, I can draw closer to God from my living room. I can draw closer to God from my bed. I don't argue that either, but I just feel like it's nothing like, fellowship and, being able to have that covering and all of those good things. So, yeah. I just encourage you to pray, and I encourage those that are listening, I'm not putting her on the spot, but to pray for her in that area, because Absolutely. there is a place for you. There is a place for you.
We had this conversation. We were talking the other day, Kendra and I, and we were talking about like, as Laura's saying, you got to find the right leaders. And I will say this, and this is just a tidbit of not being led by the right people. Sometimes we do have to get in prayer, and we do have to allow God to lead us to the right people that can cultivate, our calling. Because sometimes, like, when you're called to something and you don't know what to do with that thing, it's easy for you to get, disconnected, and it's easy for you to get turned around and miss it when you're not around the right leadership, when you don't have the right covering. So yeah,
it's very important. I can say this: every leader that I have, I've only been under 3 leaders in my entire life. 4, because under H.J. Cook, and he taught me so much, and that was to literally to forgive myself, to forgive those that hurt me, and to move on. And I was under the leadership of Wade A. Stevenson. I was under the leadership of Apostle Kobe Fitzgerald, who taught me how to be he helped birth an intercessor out of me, right? Now my leadership that I'm under, Apostle Thompson, like, when I tell you, she has helped pull so many things out of me. And Maxi, I'm not in disagreement to anything that you're saying, because I've been in a place of, some things that you have expressed, and I really can't go into detail here. But when I tell you, I remember praying one morning, I said, Lord, I need you to lead me to where you want me to serve. Just like we pray for jobs, just like we pray, for people, family, things that we desire, we have to have that same passion when it comes, to church, because it's easy. It's so unfortunate that we can get pissed off on our jobs, but we know we still gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then we get pissed with church stuff, and then we just be like, you know what? I'm chucking the deuces. I ain't going back. I ain't fooling with the people no more. But I praise God that I was able to, pray and allow God to lead me. And I do believe that, God will lead you to a place where you can worship and serve. And so that's going to be my prayer for you, because there is just so much in you that people need, and they need it inside and outside of the 4 walls. And whether you can identify those things right now or not, there are things there that the people in the pews and on the streets need from Maxi.
Amen.
So I'm definitely going to be praying and believing God with you concerning that or whatever. Yes. Okay. But I know I don't want to go over, but Ladina, I do want to ask you this. What can we?
Brenda Cook said, Miss Norman, you are being of service to mankind right now. Your testimony is helping someone who is not going inside the church, but still stand in the need of healing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you, TT. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, sis. I'm sorry. I just had to read that.
No, you're fine. See, I be trying to read these and I get distracted. Okay. I don't see how y'all do it because I'm like, you know, I can't chew gum and walk. So, Ladina, what can we expect? We this 6 month going into 2022. What can we expect from? I say all things radical, but whatever. I know you got.
Absolutely. I would say this. I would say I want everybody to understand, and I've said this plenty of times, but I always will make sure that I say it. Radical Life is a ministry. So everything that I do, it's because I work for Jesus LLC, and He puts it to work. But I just within the next 6 months, I feel as if there's about to be an elevation in ministry for Radical and just Ladina, you know, this child of God. You know, there's some things that are coming down the pipeline. Y'all might have seen some posts. I said we're about to get ready to take off. There are some major things in the works. I can't let y'all know yet. But you know, with the podcast, this is our first episode of our second season. So I am so thankful to God for, you know, elevating us from radio to now the podcast. Listen, it's just up from here. I definitely want to continue to coach. I want to move into an area where all I'm doing is coaching because I absolutely love being a coach. I love pouring into people. It just fulfills me in a way that's unimaginable. So yeah, if you're looking for a coach, hit me up. If you know somebody that needs a coach, hit me up. And yeah, just working, just continuing to work. And I got 8 months till my husband comes home, so I'm patiently waiting.
So the show probably gonna be shut down for the first 2 months.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
She gonna need a substitute.
Y'all let me know if y'all want to guest host around that time. Y'all come on and guest host for your girl.
All right now.
Definitely. Look, my producer, I'll be doing pre-recorded shows. Laura Little said, keeps it 100, prays for you, covers you, pulls your coat. I love them. Pastor Tony Jenkins and co-pastor Janice Jenkins. Shout out to my pastors, my spiritual mother and father, which I prayed for. Hallelujah. Pastor Tony and Janice Jenkins at Fishers of Men International Christian Ministry. I love them. At the end of the day, when we talk about being under the right leadership, I will say this: I have never been able to be as free as I have been with my pastors. It just makes a world of difference that I am able to be truly who I am, and I don't have to front for my pastors. They know me. It's easy to talk to them, very, very easy. I can talk to them about anything, and they are going to give me the word exactly the way they need to give it to me. So yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out. Listen, Mama J will call and give you a word. She gonna pray with you, prophesy. She gonna all of them good things. Okay. I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. Yes. Listen, I have enjoyed myself on tonight. I do have one more question though. I think this is just gonna be, I really need to ask this question to Coach L.
What do you want?
I'm sorry, but I want people to know one thing that is very, very unique about you. I know that people know when they see Coach L, what stands out about you, obviously, is your hair. And I know that you love your glasses, right? But let's talk about the hair. So what inspires your hair? Now, here's the deal. This is why I'm asking. Because I feel like it's very, very important for people to know and understand. I want to say this really quick. I used to have a young lady that used to work for me when I had my storefront many years ago. And you know, a lot of times people would ask her, a lot of people would talk about her, you know, say things about her because her hair, you know, was all different colors and X, Y, and Z. But she had a testimony behind the reason why, you know, her hair was so vibrant. And, you know, and to be honest with you, some years ago, color wasn't as popular as it is now, right?
Right.
So people like really shunned her and really didn't rock with her and thought she was weird because of her hair. And I'm sure you probably get, you know, some weirdos, you know, that or maybe not, but we know that there are weirdos out there. But I want people to truly understand I don't even know what to call it, the
radicalness. No.
The radicalness behind the radical hair. So
there is definitely a testimony behind this. My godmother, Dorothy Lewis, she owned her own hair salon for many, many years. And I remember my mom taking me to get my hair done all the time. And I would be looking in the hair books and it'd be like Karen Clark Sheard looking people like from Detroit with purple hair and blue hair. And I'd be going through the book and I would be asking my mom, like, Mom, can I get my hair like this? And she'd be like, nope. And it dawned on me that she just didn't want me to have my hair like that because that's not how, that wouldn't look appropriate for, you know, the preacher's daughter's daughter. And I want to say this. We always talk about the preacher's kids, but nobody talks about the preacher's grandkids. Because let me tell you something.
They bad. They do talk about they bad.
Listen, and that part, but it's a reason because the same way the preacher's kids, like you have to understand, they had to go through a certain thing, you know, because my grandfather was a pastor. So it's like they poured that down to their children. And I've just always been a rebeller. So, I mean, I just rebelled against that. But I will say, because I always had a creative side and I never wanted to be put in a box, I felt like the no's were them putting me in a box. I couldn't be free to be who I was. And once I became old enough and, you know, can do whatever I want to do, like I love color. I love being different. I don't like being like anybody else because God created me to be different. So therefore I started coloring my hair. And I'll be honest, like I said, like, okay, well, when are you gonna stop coloring your hair? I love it. It's me. I love coloring hair. I love, you know, the vibrancy. That's just me. And I'm firm on not being put in a box by nobody. And I don't care what you think. I'm going to go to an interview. I'm going to go to an interview with this hair. I'm going to speak with this hair. I'm going to do it all with this hair. And I mean, you just going to either have to love me or not. And whatever it is, I'm free.
I appreciate it because you're going where I was just about to say that. To me, it just represents freedom. Yeah. Because I know people who were, you know, in bondage, you know, and some people will think that's why it's important for people to know your story, because some people, like I said, I know someone who was literally in bondage, you know, she was not free, you know, in a situation. So this represents freedom, and I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? So I just felt like it was very important for the people to truly know and understand the story and the testimony behind your color. So listen, guys, my time is up. I have enjoyed being able to host the show on tonight. And again, my name is Kendra. I am the founder and owner of Lady of Pearls. I'm your personal pearl pusher. All right. I had the opportunity to interview Coach L on tonight and Elnora Maxwell on tonight. You ladies are beautiful inside and out. I thank God for you all. And listen, I'm just excited to see what God is going to do within you all. And I just want to, you know, I just want to speak life concerning you all. And I decree and I declare that whatever you put your hands to, that it shall prosper. Wherever your feet shall go, that it shall speak much success. Whenever you open your mouth, that when you will speak with boldness, and whatever you do and whoever you meet, that they will be blessed. And so Concerning your monies and all of that good stuff, I just pray that people will know your book from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and that people will be free. They will become free by reading your affirmations. And so I just, hey, I love y'all, and I just speak life. And I'm excited to see what God is going to do concerning you all. So listen, y'all. These are two ladies that you definitely need to connect to and stay connected to. Listen, we connected to some people that we don't need to be connected to, okay? We connected to folks that ain't going nowhere, but you need to connect with people that are going somewhere and that are God-fearing, amen? It is very important that, one thing that Maxi said, she said she may not do the church thing, but she know the Lord, and that's important because you got a lot of people who, they doing things, but they don't know the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to connect with nobody who don't know my daddy. It is very important that you know him, all right? So I'm excited for you all, and y'all get connected to these ladies. I believe Maxi is going to share some of her commercial and all of that good stuff. So you all be blessed. My time is up. Again, it's your girl Kendra. And I don't know if they're going to invite me back on, but
yes, we did.
Next time.
I need you guys to understand that Kendra is not only the Pearl Pusher, she is the founder and visionary also of Real Chicks Pray Prayer Line. Listen, y'all, when I tell y'all this is the realest prayer line that I have ever, and I think it's the first prayer line I was ever on, but it ain't nothing like their prayer line because I've been on a few, but it ain't nothing like the Real Chicks Pray prayer line. That's how I began to really cultivate and strengthen my relationship with God through that prayer line, and I'm forever grateful for it. So if you guys would like to join us, you can join us at 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we will go and put the information. I'm going to put the number in here. Also, go shop with her. Give them your website, sis.
My web shops. Lord have mercy. The website is www.ladyofpearls, LADIOSPEARLS.shop. All right. If you are new to the site, you automatically get 10% off. And we haven't made the announcement yet, but now we have Afterpay.
Yeah.
So now you can shop and pay later. All right. So thank you in advance to everyone that will support my brand, and bless you.
Yes, and
but most importantly, I do want to encourage you all to join us on the prayer line in the morning. All right. Listen, a queen that prays together, a bunch of queens that's gonna stay together. Amen.
So I have put that in the chat. Also, she does have some hair wraps that she's gonna put on. Are you gonna go on Facebook and do them, sis, or you want to do them now?
I mean, it's up to you.
Go ahead and show them the hair wraps, girl. Them colors was popping.
Okay, girl. Okay. So since we're here, honey, my hair wraps are $10. I call them Queen and Wraps. It's just, I feel absolutely beautiful when I wear my head wrap. So it's not about not combing the hair. I just feel absolutely amazing when I wear my head wraps. And so that's just me. All right. So here we have, some precious. This is like a soft pink. It's called the rose gold. But it's a soft pink. And again, these are $10. These are the jersey material, so they stretch really, really right. You can do a lot with them. Since I feel like you don't put me on the spot, I'm really not ready.
Listen, let's get these things sold.
Hey, but since we're here, and then I have a mustard color. I'm big on colors and what they mean and what they represent. But that's another day and another conversation. We have the red. Can't go wrong with the red. Rock that with some navy or black and white, red and blue, or blue and white, whatever you want to do. We have purple. When I say we have all colors, we have all colors, and they are dope. Here is the neon yellow. I don't know if you can see it good on my laptop.
Yes, that's cute.
So here's the neon, super cute. I was very shocked because this is a very popular color. I sell out of these pretty quick. So y'all bear with me because now I gotta scooch on over here.
Yeah, scooch on over.
And here's the pink, which is what I'm wearing tonight. All right. And I do have a YouTube video where I do show how to wrap the wraps, and I also have people that we do like little video chats to show them. I walk them through how to properly wrap their head wraps, and I show them the different ways to tie them as well. So here's the pink that I'm wearing, and this is like a mauve color.
Okay.
I don't know if they're really showing good. And then I have black. And I have a like a neon orange color that is super dope. All right. So go ahead, sis.
Oh, I was thinking about what I want because you're gonna show me how to do this when we go on our retreat.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you my cash.
Yeah. Yes. So again, the wraps are $10. They're definitely on the site. I've got to load the restocks on there tonight. But for a first-time shopper set, you get 10% off, and we have Afterpay now. So, sis, thank you for the plug.
Absolutely, y'all. Listen, I just want to say thank y'all. Y'all don't understand. I called my sister at the last minute and was like, sis, I need you to come on and interview us. And she was like, okay, let's do it. But I really appreciate you. I thank you so much. I thank God for you. Having you in my life has been a tremendous blessing. Ain't nobody like my sister. I just have to say, you are a real, true, genuine, authentic, dope individual and friend and sister and all of that. So thank you for always being available, always pouring into queens and always just, being just dope. I appreciate it. Yeah. So this was a dope show. This was the Lady of Pearls Takes Over Radical Radio show. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
I hope this show blessed y'all so much as it blessed us. Again, we will be back next Monday. We will see you guys then. And we have a commercial for you. Sorry.
Hey dreamers, in this life, nothing is promised to be perfect. But with a little hard work and support, we can make it all worth it. Hi, I'm Maxi, owner of Eleanor Maxwell. We're a business support company specializing in admin support for businesses, show production, events, and more. And guess what? I just self-published my first book, All My Broken Crayons Still Color, available now on Amazon. So, Eleanor Maxwell, follow, like, subscribe, all social media platforms. Let us help you blow through whatever it is you're going through.
Deuces, guys.
Bye.
So next Monday.